Weekend. I'm your host, Jack. Let's get into it, Minny. Ooh. Excuse me. During the podcast, at the beginning of the summer, we told you guys that Poppi came out with a cool new soda for the summer, and it was their Poppi Punch Pop. We told you guys we were going to find it. We told you we were going to have it on the podcast. And here we are. I know we are on the back nine of summer, but hey, summer, it still counts. And I have to say, there's a lot going on in this, but I really like it. I do like it. It's kind of like, it's like Hawaiian Punch meets mixed berry or something like that. Here we go. Can says, sip into summer. The only thing more refreshing than a cool pool on a hat on a hot summer day are limited edition Punch Pop Obvi. Limited edition. They're still out now. If you haven't got them or try them, go get them. With 5 grams of sugar, ingredients you can love, and prebiotics. The pool party doesn't start until this fizzy fruit punch flavor arrives. Yeah, like I said, very, very, very good. But yeah, for those of you that may be new here, what is Poppi? Poppi is a new brand of soda there. They kind of brand themselves similar to the Oli Pop. If you've heard us talk about Oli Pop, soda is back. That's actually, I think that's Oli Pop. Poppi is the future of soda is now, and they're really awesome. Both of them are kind of brand themselves as healthy pop. What makes this healthy, Jack? Again, for those that might be new, in every single one of Poppies, they have prebiotics, a special type of fiber that can act as a food for healthy bacteria in your gut, apple cider vinegar, 5 grams of sugar or less, and 35 calories or less in every can. So it's essentially soda that's good for you. The only difference between these, because they have prebiotics in them, is unlike your Coca-Colas, your Pepsis, your Sprites, you should not have more than 2 of these a day. And that is if you're having one kind of like early lunch and one for like movie night or something like that. I would probably recommend sticking to just 1 a day. If that, like I said, with the fibers and everything like that, believe me, I learned the hard way that it upsets your stomach and it will not go well for you guys. So yeah, that's what Poppi is. We've had a couple of their other sodas on the podcast since we started doing our video podcast on YouTube. So go check out our other videos if you want to see what other ones we have tried. Let us know if there are other flavors that you like that you think we should try or that we would like, and we will go from there. Before we go, like always, you can go and find them on Threads, Instagram, and TikTok. Additionally, drinkpoppy.com. And lastly, what you guys are probably all waiting for. Kind of gets you at the very end of the back taste. I'm going to go 8-1. I really, really, really do like it, but it kind of depends on the taste. It kind of depends on the sip you get. You kind of get different notes of strawberry, lemon, lime, orange, and some of them aren't mixing all that great together to me, but overall really enjoy it. Like I said, if you haven't, limited edition, it's not going to be around forever. Go check them out, go try it, and you will not regret it. 8.1. And with that, we actually have a little bit of news for Tommie Town this week. It was announced just earlier today. First of all, yes, I know we're coming to you guys on Thursday. My apologies. I know we've been kind of a little bit this summer all over. Shouldn't say all over, but some Wednesdays, some Thursdays. We're getting closer to football season, so we are going to get in a better habit of every Wednesday and letting you guys know if we're going to be doing a different day or anything like that. So my apologies. But yeah, Tommie Town, the men's basketball team was recognized by the NABC for academic success in the 2024 season. St. Thomas earned NABC academic awards. Ben Now and Carter Bierke to honors court. Just earlier today, the NABC announced the recipients of the 24-25 NABC Team Academic Excellence Award, representing achievement in the classroom by men's college basketball teams and individual players. Both Ben Now and Carter Bierke are both financial management majors and earned spots on the NABC Honors Court. The recognitions are the 11th and 12th for the Tommies since the 21-22 season, while the program also brought an NABC Team Academic Excellence Award. What is this, you may ask? Right here, the NABC Team Academic Excellence Awards recognize programs that completed the 24-25 academic year with a team GPA of 3.0 or higher. And the honors court, meanwhile, includes juniors, seniors, and graduate student men's basketball players who finished this last year with a cumulative GPA of 3.2 or higher. So a huge congratulations to both of these guys. It is going to be awesome to see them suit up again for the Tommies this upcoming season. And again, a testament to John Tower and really the St. Thomas athletics department in general, that this team is able to have as much athletic success as they have been in the first, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 to 4 years in the Division I era, as well as continuing their academic excellence as well. So congratulations to the two of them, and can't wait to see them in action. Still, as of now, you cannot purchase single game tickets for football, basketball, or hockey because their schedules have not been released. But if you're interested in getting season tickets, you can go to tommiesports.com and find out more information on how to do that. Other than that, that is what we have for Tommy Town this upcoming week. So now, everybody's favorite part of the podcast, New Week in Bets. So this last week, we were humbled just a little bit. The Diamondbacks money line minus 118 did not hit. They in fact lost 4-3 to the Padres. The Rays Red Sox over 9 did not hit. Addison ended up winning in a 7-run affair. However, the one bright spot for us this last week, the Cardinals 5-run line over the Washington Nationals. They did in fact win 8-1. And then the Lakers money line minus 142 over the Mavs. The Mavericks ended up winning a very closely contested game, 87-85, putting us now all time at 25-19. Still fluctuating between that 54 and 60. We're down to 56.8 right now. It stinks, but just like everything, we are going to bounce back, and it's going to start this week. So this week I got 3 picks for you guys. The first one is the Red Sox money line, which is currently sitting at plus 110 over the Chicago Cubs. Look, the Cubs may have the better overall record, but no team is hotter right now than the Red Sox. At least no team was hotter than the Red Sox coming into the All-Star break. They're on a 10-game winning streak. Momentum should be able to carry over into the second half. Lucas Giolito is towing the rubber for the visitors, and he has delivered a quality start in 6 consecutive appearances. Meanwhile, Chicago is countering with Colin Rea, who probably isn't as good as his numbers suggest. Some regression is likely, and it could come right away against a confident Boston lineup. So like I said, give me the Red Sox to remain hot as small underdogs at plus 110. The second game I like is the Tigers run line at minus 1.5 over the Texas Rangers. Simply put, for Detroit, the first half went pretty well from start to finish. There are 21 games over 500 right now, and pretty much coast to the AL Central crown as far as I am concerned, as much as I hate to admit that. Reese Olson is taking the mound for the Tigers tomorrow on Friday. He may not be Tarek Skubal, but really is. Olson is the second best starter for the Tigers right now. That means he should be good enough against Texas. The right-hander is impressed since returning from the IL earlier this month. In his 2 starts since back in the rotation, he's only allowed 3 earned runs across 9.1. And yet, like I said, with a guaranteed 9 full innings at the plate of visitors, the Tigers, I think, have a very good value at this position to win by multiple runs. And then lastly, I'm going to take the Cardinals again. This time I'm going to take their money line, which sits at plus 100 over the Arizona Diamondbacks. The series is a big one. Even if these two teams aren't in the same division, Arizona is 5.5 games out of a wild card spot, while St. Louis remains firmly in the hunt. On the bump for the Cards is Sonny Gray, who we know and love, who enters with a 9-3 record and a 3.5 ERA. Earl Kelly has also been solid for the Diamondbacks, but their bullpen ERA of 4.94 is 4th worst in baseball and is very concerning. The Cardinals score 4.6 runs per contest and boast a 715 OPS, so they should be able to do some damage once they chase Kelly. So like I said, I like the St. Louis Cardinals money line plus 100. So yeah, that's what I like. In summary, Red Sox money line plus 110 over the Chicago Cubs. Tigers run line minus 1.5 over the Texas Rangers. Cardinals money line minus 110 over the Arizona Diamondbacks. And then before we get on to a question, once again, we're not done with all of our picks for you guys here, but do want to remind you guys that I am not a financial advisor, so tread lightly with these picks and do what you will with them. I am not liable for any losses, just like I will not come after you for any of your winnings. If you have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLING and they will help you get back to your best self. So yeah, that leads us into kind of a question. The person who did ask for anonymity, and like I've mentioned before, we do want to respect it. And they said, Jack, you made a TikTok video talking about the commies being wrong in Aaron Rank's prediction. How do you see them winning or their over under, and pick another team to do their over under on? So thank you for your question. I'm guessing you're a fan and you're watching, so thank you for your question. You know who you are. We will respect your desire to be anonymous. Well, first off, we will do the Commanders. They sit at 9.5 wins right now for the upcoming season. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I like the over. I know a lot of people think this team is going to regress this year for a sophomore slump for Jane Daniels. It's going to be tough because of their difficult schedule and such like that. But there's no denying that this team got better. And if Jane Daniels is going to be similar to what he is last year, this should be easy for them to get. They got to the NFC Championship game. This year, he's going to be able to throw to Deebo Samuel, and his blind side is actually going to be protected this year by Laramie Tunsil, which is a step up. This defense could use another pass rusher probably, but the secondary should be better this season, especially with Lattimore getting full offseason in Washington. So before we move on, let's just go through their schedule really quickly. So again, 9.5 wins. I look at this and just, the eye test. They get to play the Giants twice, who aren't going to be very good. Vegas isn't great. Atlanta's not going to be great. Chicago's not going to be great. Seattle is winnable. Miami's not going to be great. And, there was one other team here. New York, Las Vegas, Atlanta, Chicago, Seattle, Miami, and that's 7 already right there. And then you look at other games too, like Green Bay. That's a winnable game for them. Denver, maybe sprinkle Denver in there. I kind of have a feeling that they're going to split with, for sure, Dallas. They could split with Philadelphia, to be quite frank, too, and that's 11 wins right there. So, they do boast a pretty difficult schedule. They got to play outside of those games. They got to play Detroit. They got to play Kansas City and some of those guys. But overall, I think it should be pretty easy for this team to hit 10 wins, even if they do hit 10 flat. And truthfully, I have confidence in Jane Daniels that he's not going to have a sophomore slump. So per your question, take the over 9.5 wins. They are not going to go 7-10 like Adam Rank seems to think. And then this person also asked me to pick another team. So another team I thought I would do for you guys. I know I've been doing quite a bit of NFC teams. So we're going to go over to the AFC, to the Denver Broncos. They sit at 9.5 wins, and I think they're going to go under, kind of for the opposite reason for the Commanders. I really don't think the Broncos did enough to improve Bo Nix's receiving corps. There's also the possibility that he might have a sophomore slump too. And if I'm being completely honest, between the two, what I saw from both of them last year, they played great. But I think Jaden Daniels has the potential to be more consistent than Bo Nix, with opposing defenses now knowing what to expect from him as well. Denver's defense should be a little bit better, but the team gambled with signing safety Tanelo. I'm going to butcher his name, Huffagan, and linebacker Dre Greenlaw, 2 players who have injury concerns. So again, very similar to Cincinnati last year. If this defense can't be serviceable like they were this last year, it's going to be tough for them to win games. And just like we did with Washington, let's take a look at this schedule. So they don't have as hard of a schedule this year as the Commanders, but other than getting to play Tennessee twice, I think Indianapolis is going to be sneaky good this year. That's 2 games: New York, Vegas, Jacksonville, mean, other than that, listen, like these are a handful of teams that they got to play this year. Cincy, Philadelphia, the Chargers twice, the Kansas City Chiefs twice. They do have the luxury of playing the Las Vegas Raiders twice, but that's already 6 games right there. The New York Jets, who could be sneaky good. Again, based off of what I saw and based off my opinion, I think Denver is the team more likely to see a sophomore slump than the Washington Commanders. So that is what I like for these futures that aren't super in the futures. Commanders over 9.5 wins for the 2025 season, and Denver under 9.5 wins for the 2025 season. That's what we have for you guys. Then, like every single week, we love our friends over at the good old UNRL.com. Tonight I'm coming at you guys with the it's called, this one, they have cool names for just their colors and stuff like that. It's not just like red, it's not just green, like it's eucalyptics, stuff like that. And tonight we're coming at you guys with the other Condor polo that we got. Once again, unbelievably comfortable. It's like your polo meets a Henley. Feels unbelievable on a nice hot day when you're first wearing this and going out on the tee box or hanging out with friends. It's going to kind of give you that cool wicking kind of, like I said, cool to the touch feel. You can wear it down, you can dress it up, have fun with it. Like I said, I can't say enough about them. I only have their white sand one and this one, and with how I love the feel of it, I've been wearing them like crazy for golf so far. So I definitely need more of these in my life. So once again, if you guys are interested, you can find them on TikTok, Facebook, X, Instagram, LinkedIn. But one last thing that we have for you guys, for my Twins and MLB lovers out there, this upcoming Monday, they have their hometown collection drop number 2 of 3. It goes live at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And for those that maybe wanted to get this in person instead, limited units will also be available on their 7/25 game, Gate 34 at the Marketplace inside Target Field. Game tickets are required. So yeah, like I said, you can go to, if you like these drops, you can also go to UNRL.com and get on their insider list to be the first to know about these drops. I saw this and I don't know if I'm going to get this one or not, but guys, it looks sick. It looks really nice. It's kind of that cream look with a little bit of like navy writing on it. Can't really tell from the pictures or not if it's going to be like lightweight or if it's going to be thicker, but it looks nice. So go check it out, unrl.com, and get ready if you are somebody that wants to get one of these. I got one from the first one and freaking love it. So that's what we got for our friends over at UNRL Unreal. And like I said, go check them out. Top of the line in athleisure, just as good, if not better, than the Lululemons, Athleta, and all that stuff. So go check them out. You will not be disappointed. But before we get into that, for the first time in, God, I have no idea how long, for the first time in probably, for sure, 4, maybe 5 or 6 years, this last week I actually sat down and watched the MLB Home Run Derby and the All-Star Game, and it was pretty sweet. And I'll be completely honest with you guys, I was so intrigued that it wasn't just on like in the background. It was really cool to see Joe Ryan and Byron Buxton do their thing in the All-Star Game. For those that didn't see, they both showed out. The National League, one based off of a swing off after a 6-6 tie after the 9th inning. But Byron Buxton came in a pinch hitting effect for Javier Baez. Went 1 for 2, scored a run. His one hit was a double. And then our buddy Joe Ryan, in 1 inning, pretty much had a 1-2-3 inning, had 2 strikeouts, and pitched 7 of his 10 pitches were strikes. So both of them showed up. Both of them looked amazing. And Byron Buxton actually, I was told, and from what I saw and everything like that, was supposed to kind of be a dark horse in the home run derby. Got out of the first round, but after that, he was pretty easily taken care of by, what's that guy's name again? Caminero, a young guy off the Tampa Bay Rays. But it was super, super fun to watch. They've changed some of the rules, so now you get 40 in the first round. It's like you get 40 pitches. and everything is either a home run or just like nothing, but you have to do them all within 3 minutes. Byron Buxton's pitcher sucked. He didn't even get all 40 pitches within the first minute. In the second round, it was 27 pitches within 2 minutes. I don't even think he got all of those two as well. He just wasn't pitching with urgency, which kind of sucked for him. But it was fun to watch. My dad's been talking to me all year about this. Cal Raleigh from the Seattle Mariners. My son's name is Cal, so he gets a kick out of watching him. And this guy put on a show and won the whole dang thing. And apparently his nickname is the Big Dumper, which is just crazy. It's also, I totally forgot about this, but it was so cool to see him up there with his dad and his brother. His dad was his pitcher and his kid brother was his catcher. So it was super, super fun to see that happen. But yeah, so like I said, the first round, there were 8 guys and the top 4 players advanced. And it was weird because Raleigh and Rooker both were tied for 17, and Raleigh got the nod over the other guy because his longest home run was like a matter of like an inch or two longer than his. So that was pretty insane to see, but it was super fun to watch. Like I said, I think the MLB is finally getting onto something with making these games shorter, putting in a pitch clock, and just kind of really rejuvenating and making this more fun and more engaging for fans to watch. And I thought they really did a great job for All-Star Weekend. And yeah, truthfully, it's kind of getting me excited to want to watch more Twins game by myself or with the kiddo down here on the TV or whatever. So yeah, that's it was a fun weekend by the MLB, and can't wait to see how the rest of the season goes, and hopefully the Twins can make a big playoff push here. Yeah, and then on top of that, like I said, we have a good amount of stuff that came out this week. Including yesterday, kind of late afternoonish, the Minnesota Wild released their 2025-2026 regular season schedule, which was pretty sweet. The season will actually kick off on October 7th, but we have to wait an additional 2 days for the Wild's season opener. The season will kick off on October 7th with 3 games back to back on ESPN. The first game at 4 p.m. on Tuesday, the Florida Panthers obviously will host the Chicago Blackhawks. At 7 p.m., we'll see the New York Rangers hosting the Pittsburgh Penguins. And then at 9:30, the nightcap, we will see the Los Angeles Kings kick off the season hosting the Colorado Avalanche. And then on October 8th, we will see 4 additional games before the Wild kick off the season on the road in St. Louis at 7 p.m. on October 9th. And these are just a couple of quick takeaways that I saw from this. First and foremost, everybody might be thinking too, this season is still just 82 games, 41 home, 41 away. It features 19 weekend games. And the home opener will actually be on Saturday, October 10th, when the Wild host the Columbus Blue Jackets. Will be games 2 and 3 will be at home. On the 13th, at 7 they will host the Kings. And then on top of that, the first time, one of the things I like looking at, the obviously the Las Vegas Raiders, Las Vegas Golden Knights were the team that knocked us out. So the first time we get to see them will be at home on November 16th at 5 p.m. And the first time we will be in Vegas will be December 29th. So right at the end of 2025 at 9 p.m. in Vegas. But a couple other things I kind of like to look at. The 2026 Olympic Winter Games are set to take place between February 6th and 22nd in Italy with a pretty substantial break. So you can see that on the schedule. The Wild will have 2 games in February. They will host the Montreal Canadiens on the 2nd and then go to Nashville on the 4th. And then they will not play again until the 26th when they're in Colorado. So that's when that break will be for the Olympics, which super excited to watch. But then, yeah, another couple things I always like to look at. The longest homestand for the Wild will be 6 games, and it'll be between October 25th and November 4th. October 25th, they will take on the Utah Mammoth. October 26th, San Jose. October 28th, Winnipeg. October 30th, Pittsburgh. November 1st, Vancouver. And then Nashville on November 4th. Excuse me. Their longest road trip will be 7 games that span from 2025 to 2026. The first one will be on December 27th when they find themselves in Winnipeg, and it'll kind of take them all over kind of western part of the states. After that, they'll be in Vegas on the 29th. New Year's Eve, they'll be in San Jose. January 2nd, Anaheim. Back-to-back games against the Los Angeles Kings on the 2nd on the 3rd and 5th. Then they will go up to Seattle before coming home. Overall, I can't believe the schedule has been released. This obviously means we're probably 2 weeks at the most away from the NBA season releasing their schedule and all that craziness. But yeah, insane. We're already at the point where we have the season out, and then a couple other fun tidbits I like to look at that the Wild always do. After the Olympic Winter Games, very similar to like All-Star break, Minnesota is going to have 24 games remaining on the schedule, including 11 home games, 13 road contests. They'll play 11 games against Central Division, 4 against the Pacific Division, and 9 games against the Eastern Conference. So pretty well balanced schedule after the Winter Games. And yeah, more information and the schedule for the 2026 Olympic Winter Games can be found on the Minnesota Wild's website if you are interested. And like I said, I can't believe we're already at the point now where schedules are being released. It seems just insane. Little off topic, should have said it, but I mean, we're only 37 days away until college football kicks off, and 42 days away until St. Thomas and Gopher football kickoff. And whenever football starts up, hockey and basketball are not far behind. So insane to think. We love all those sports and we love that time of year, but insane to think we're already that close to them. Yeah, and then basketball. So we did get one question. From, let me pull it up, Duncan.Keith101, and he wants to know, apparently he's referencing a quote that he probably saw on social media or maybe heard. But he said, what do you make of Dillingham saying in Summer League that he essentially wants to start this year? And Duncan Keith 101, I love it. Before we get into the answer, there's something that I want to talk on and touch on for the casual basketball fans out there. And the reason I bring this up is because I've heard my brother and a couple other friends of mine that are more casual basketball fans than avid basketball fans like myself. And that is that there's this consensus that NBA players have bigger egos than any other sport. And while it definitely seems that way, basketball players are not oblivious to the fact that they are still playing a team sport. But I think something that non-avid fans need to understand is that if you look at the MLB, there are 9 guys hitting. There are 9 guys in the field in sync. Football, 11 guys on both sides of the field. Like, there are so many things that need to be going right for your team to have continued success. In basketball, there's only 5 of you on the floor. So in terms of team sports, basketball is the one sport, I believe, between basketball, football, baseball, and hockey, that if you have one all-star, your one superstar is going to make that much more of an impact on a game in basketball or in the NBA than in these other sports. So it's a different ball game because part of the NBA, if you don't have that confidence, somebody's going to come for you and somebody's going to beat you out and somebody's going to be better than you and have that confidence. So I think there are a lot of people out there that get this idea that, all these basketball players are full of themselves and, just like every other sport, yeah, of course they want to make as much money as they possibly can. Nobody's promised anything. But I think people don't understand that part of what basketball is having that confidence. A lot of these other players have confidence. You just don't hear about it as much because they hammer the team sport. And I think a lot of times in basketball, the team comments don't get highlighted as much, and it's more the egocentric comments. So I'm glad he has that confidence. But to answer your question, Duncan, I love it. And quite frankly, I think he should be starting. I think unless you are going to package him to try to trade for somebody or try to get somebody else, like if you're riding with Dillingham and Connolly, the only point guards on this team, you need to start Rob Dillingham. You need to. Mike Connolly is great, but he's old. He's a veteran, and he showed signs this last year of slowing down and not being his typical self. So I think unless you're going to trade for somebody or unless you're going to sign somebody, he needs to be your starter. Because at the very least, even if he's not going to be amazing this season, at the very least, you need to see what you have in him so that you can evaluate and say, hey, maybe do we try to trade him and get something? Or maybe do we have to go get somebody? Do we have to sign somebody? You know, obviously we can't go get Damian Lillard. Now he's signed with Portland Trail to go back to Portland. But I love his confidence. You very rarely see confidence in young players, and the fact that he has it is simply amazing. And like I said, I fully anticipate him being our starter. I think at some point Finch will realize Connolly is just too young. And truth be told, Connolly shouldn't be starting if he's just going to be playing 5 to 8 minutes before he gets pulled out. Should be playing like the entire first quarter. Like unless he's in foul trouble, he should be playing the entire first quarter. And I think it's great to have a guy like Connolly on the team because he can mentor Rob Dillingham. He's obviously can learn a lot from him. There's a lot he can teach him and that kind of stuff. But I think moving forward for the sake of this team, you need to at least see what you have in Dillingham. And I fully anticipate come day one, our backcourt will consist of Rob Dillingham and Anthony Edwards as our starter. So thank you for your question. That's what I think. Excuse me. And then wrapping up the podcast in it, we have a little bit of news on the Vikings. So as of just earlier in the afternoon, Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison pleaded no contest Thursday to a lesser charge to resolve his 2024 DUI citation, as attorney said. The plea agreement, however, still leaves him subject to NFL discipline. NFL has said this: we've been closely monitoring all developments in the matter, which remain under review. All Addison needs to do, he'll be placed on probation for 12 months, pay a $390 fine, and complete 2 online courses for all of this. One thing that it does say is the NFL's policy here and program on substance abuse remains relevant because Addison's plea acknowledgement the use of alcohol in a driving incident. The policy reads in part, absent aggravated circumstances, discipline for the first offense will be a suspension without pay of 3 regular or postseason games. So unless something crazy happens, which I don't think it will, he's more than likely going to miss the Monday night game against the Bears, the Sunday night game against the Falcons, and then a third game against the Cincinnati Bengals. And truthfully, it sucks we're not going to have him, but I think for the sake of our depth and wide receiving core, I think it'll be good. We're still going to have Jalen Naylor out there. Ty Felton will probably get some more reps, Rondell Moore, and we'll actually be able to see what we have in them. And then hopefully in those 3 games that he's probably going to be out, those guys can ball. You get Addison back, and then all of a sudden, all these guys you find, okay, you got to have at least one guy on every single one of them. TJ Hawkinson's still going to be in the mix, Josh Oliver, and those guys, as well as Jones and Mason. But it's going to be a good year. And on top of that, by the time we come on next for our July 23rd episode, we will have put out our first preliminary game-by-game predictions for you guys. So keep your eyes posted on TikTok and Instagram, and you will see that within the upcoming week. Still haven't decided what day, but that's the surprise of it. So you gotta go follow on Instagram and TikTok if you haven't already, and that's how you are going to find it. Other than that, it's crazy. 14 days until a Hall of Fame game, July 1st. 49 games until the regular season starts, and 53 games until we kick off the season in Chicago against the Chicago Bears. So with that, I'll leave you guys with, remember, this podcast is about you guys, the listeners. If you have a question you want to ask, if you have a topic you want us to talk about, please reach out. Go follow us, like I said, on TikTok, Instagram. We're on Facebook. Email us, X, all that stuff. Go subscribe and hit the bell to get subscribed of the new episode when it comes out on YouTube. Go subscribe on wherever you may listen audioly. And I will leave you guys with, till next time, Minny.